Let's talk now the international squads, the teams that are flying into the United States for this World Championship. Shane, I want to start with you on this one, my friend. Who is your first international team to look out for? You can include yourself, but give me one more.
Lightning Pandas. Realistically, if Lightning Pandas win a map, it'll be a miracle. But I think, the UK squad, TCM and Epsilon, man. I think this is the best chance Europe's ever had. The Epsilon roster has got the perfect balance, same as TCM. And TCM went to the regionals. I think they dropped 1 or 2 maps, and maybe there are a lot of weaker teams in Europe than America, but it's a good feat to accomplish.
Parasite, you're up next. Who's your international squad to look out for?
My international squad to look out for is TCM. When I look at the TCM roster, I don't see too much individual talent, but they've been succeeding a lot in Europe, and they look stronger than Epsilon, at least from their tournament placements, because I think TCM has been beating Epsilon quite a bit over there in Europe. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Shane. But the player to look out for on that team is Mad Cat. That kid has been one of the best players in Call of Duty for a very, very long time. And he's been so young and hasn't been able to attend a lot of these 18-plus tournaments. But now that he is, I think he's going to show up and put in a lot of work.
Definitely going to be a player to keep an eye on. TCM has been said. Epsilon has been said. Benson, do you have a squad outside of those two or within those two?
I would obviously agree with both of those two teams. They're going to be the ones which I really think have Europe's best chance of hitting the money. But, in terms of a different team, because I think it's always nice to shine some light on other teams, we obviously have Vitality, the French team. I'll try and avoid taking yours. I'll try and avoid taking yours. We have Vitality, the French team, but one of the big teams that I think may come out and shock a couple of people, potentially finish, around that 7th to 8th mark, if not around the 9th, 10th, is actually going to be TEC. Now, the reason I say that is because if you look at some of the statistics, I should say, from the European finals, they have a player called Robs who just played insane. You look at blitz caps. Now, that's something which, the stats as I've been looking over the past couple of weeks, and you'll remember when I did my top 5 American players, Replays was actually on the top of that list with Classic, and they dominated the US finals. However, Robs actually walked away with a higher average than either of those two players and more total caps from them. Wow. Transfer that onto domination as well. He finished in 2nd place overall from any player to qualify from the World Championships, and it was only Theory who finished above him, and it was something like 0.04. So, in terms of the objective-based play, he's a player definitely to watch out for from TEC. And I think if they can gel and maybe get some good maps, some of their best maps, they could definitely cause some upsets.
TEC. All right. I'm going Vitality Rises. Gataga and the boys. I love them. Broken, one of my favorite players that I've ever met. Hung out with these guys last year at COD Champs, and I know how disappointed they were with their placement. I believe they're playing under Millennium at that last event. But now they're playing under Vitality Rises. I feel like this is a new year. They showed how close their games were against Epsilon back at the at the EU Regional Championship. Right. I think they're going to be bringing their A game. Look for them to possibly sneak into the top 4. Guys, that is going to do it for our first segment. We just wanted to get out the big questions out of the way. Will Complexity be able to take this one? Is strictly business a fluke? Everyone said no. And then we said international teams to look out for: TCM, Epsilon, TEC, and Vitality Rises. And the American squads to look out for, there's a mix of them. FaZe, Envy, and who'd Shane call?
I think Shane called for, who did he call
Optic.
for? Optic. That was
Gaming.
The one.
There we go. Guys, we're taking a quick commercial break. When we return, we'll take a look at the pools, explain how the pool play is going to work out, and what implications that will have on the bracket. We'll be right back.